Hey everybody, it's Steve Portugal, and there's someone else here to say hello.
Hi everyone, it's Sam Ladner here.
Yeah, I bet you didn't expect to hear Sam speaking with me on Dollars to Donuts. This is not actually an episode of Dollars to Donuts. We're here to announce a new collab between us that's called Off the Path with Sam and Steve. And yeah, we're going to just chat about it a little bit. We'll play an excerpt from one of the episodes later on, but this is just a chance to let you know that this exists and hope that you check it out. What do we want to talk about for the people today, Sam?
I think we want them to know that there is this cool, interesting set of conversations that are all about finding your own way, maybe getting lost, maybe losing the path, falling off the path. But you know what? That's okay. It's your path. And, when you talk to people about their careers, there's a lot of mechanics that they want to talk about. There's a lot of skill and there's a lot of specific things that they want to do. But then there's all this unspoken stuff that nobody ever talks about. The experience of failure and not knowing what direction you're going to go. And is this a good enough choice, or am I going in the right direction enough? People don't talk about this kind of stuff.
So Sam and I took advantage of that gap, and we had a series of 6 conversations about a range of topics that go from here to there and back around being a researcher, having a career, being a person, being a human on the planet. A lot of the stuff is all connected, but these are not interviews per se with guests. It is really conversations between the two of us. So that's what you're in for if you decide to check it out. We'll give a little excerpt of something that maybe is illustrative, but you can find it where you find podcasts. We won't spell out URLs here. We'll just leave it as an exercise to you all to find it.
Oh, I was all prepared for that, Steve. Oh, no. What do I do now? Okay, everybody. Good luck finding us.
Hope you can find it. Here's that clip.
Maybe I should be a little bit more circumspect about the whole thing. Like I take a look at what I've learned through being, a primarily qualitative researcher. I have found that there's so many things that you can't control. And there's so many places where it can go completely awry in live interviewing. And yet over and over and over again, I have shown to myself and to others that I can bring it home. I can rise to the occasion and I can get us back onto the path that they expected. Actually, sorry, not that they expected. A good path, but maybe not what they expected. Maybe not what I expected. So constantly putting yourself in that position where you're going to get those jitters, you're going to feel it in your body, you're going to go, wow, this is uncomfortable. I don't like this. I think there's a gift in there. There was a chance that I could have been a purely quantitative researcher and back to just a single choice in grad school where I was looking for a data set to do my dissertation. And I was sure I had a pretty good question. I was going to look at technology adoption. I was going to look at it in the nonprofit sector. I was going to look at how it changed, like this and that. And the reason I chose that is because it had all these theoretical things associated with it. And I thought, oh, these are really meaty questions. And the not-for-profit is kind of an interesting context. And I also thought that there was good data that I could access, right? So from a large data set from a statistical agency that I didn't have to collect myself. So turns out, no. First of all, there isn't really good data. There was some data. And secondly, getting access to the crappy-ish, I couldn't even tell how good data was going to be hard. And I was like, I'd spent all this time learning, I used SPSS at the time, but I learned SAS syntax in order to do this. And I was ready to write queries and do all this stuff. And I couldn't get freaking access to the quantitative data. And, it was the certainty that I was so looking for. I was looking for this crisp hypothesis, and it was a yes or no. And it was going to be so easy, not easy, but straightforward. And I was compelled, given that there was only so much time in my life, I was compelled to make a decision. Can you go forward now? Can you go forward with technology adoption of something with something else, right? So I chose a qualitative study and a design, and the rest is history, as they say. And I kind of kicked myself for years, for a long period, to be perfectly honest, because I was like, why are you subjecting yourself to this ambiguity all the time. Every single study you do, you're not sure where it's going to go. You're dependent on these people talking about hard hats or not hard hats. Why did you do this to yourself? And yet, looking back, of course, there's a gift there. Definitely. Ambiguity. You got to learn how to deal with it.
Well, you're making me think about sort of the layers of ambiguity, because there's the ambiguity of the whole enterprise, the project.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to go talk to tech owners inside nonprofits and try to understand their motivations and see what patterns I can draw from that and see if there's conclusions and implications. Well, that feels shaky
Mm-hmm.
because there is no path yet for that. You're
Nope.
trying to create that path. So we're not on or off. We're just pushing a lawnmower in front of us or whatever
Oh,
tool.
God. Yeah, I'm thinking of machete.
Yes, we're hacking through the underbrush. Yes.
Yes.
And so the whole enterprise is ambiguous. And then the method, we're talking about the ambiguity, the uncertainty, and the worry of the method. But yeah, I got to go talk to somebody about hard hats and they don't really want to talk to me about that. I am also in an uncertain position because I've just told somebody who thinks that the hard hat problem is, and what they thought it was just a little cuckoo. I have to help them, and I'm uncertain about that. And now I'm talking to someone that doesn't even want to talk to me about anything about hard hats, let alone the thing that I was told that I had to ask them about. And so I think in the interview, uncertainty is sort of exacerbated by the uncertainty that we're carrying around that has brought us into having that conversation. Back to your point about, couldn't you just go hang out with people and talk to them? Like, yeah, in a coffee shop or in line to board the plane or something. But the stakes for bringing you there are low. It is hard when the thing that you're worried about trying to solve, the rubber meets the road. You've got to have that FaceTime and get that.
You gotta get it.
Get that answer.
Gotta get the answer.
So it's right. There's a big ambiguity that's always there, and then there's the ambiguity of the task of doing the interview.
The big ambiguity is like, in research, right? Like the big ambiguity of the project, like, I don't even know if I can find anything here, like whatever, much less a specific task ambiguity, right? I don't know if there are many careers that in good faith acknowledge that that's actually kind of the case all the time.